incomplete. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On 1st down, Drake spinning away. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. They'll roll him out right. He dumps it off to Drake. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Brissett on 1st down. This will be caught by Brown. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Brissett now. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Brissett. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Minkah Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience, this is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll run with Drake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down. Tannehill in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Drake off the give from Tannehill.
Fancy footwork at the 45. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, it's Tannehill. Ebron caught left side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers. Now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. And Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Tannehill. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Brissett. He'll rifle this one deep right side and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now here come the Dolphins. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Tannehill Lets it go for Nelson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Brissett again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Brissett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. Counter play, Drake. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Play action now. Brissett. That is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Now left, he's got it to Everett. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get
Damn, man, this game is a tough game, bro.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. It's complete. Stills. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Tannehill on 3rd down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Shane Ray. 6. Touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come. Those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if finally kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got
Oh my fucking God.
to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
He's hurt now.
We're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Tannehill hands to Bray. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
Oh, he's not able to return.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Tannehill. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mark Barron. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Miami after this.
who you playing
They
after
go
this?
play action here on first down.
So I can let him know.
And Cooks has it over the middle. He got
So who you playing after this?
I don't know, Haley.
You gonna play Simba? Never hand.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Let's go. White 90.
Brissett on first down. Going for the deep ball. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Here's Brissett. Dumps it off to Gurley. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So we've reached the intermission. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Gets past one man. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Here we go.
Throwing, Brissett. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Gerald Everett is tight end, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On play action, Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. This is brought in at the 21. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Tannehill now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. When the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And now here is another interception. John Johnson with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there. 64 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! What? 90! What? 90! Take 4! Take 4! Ohio! Ohio!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
And now he'll tuck it and run. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can. Now the ball comes loose. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks. Maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on third down, Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be fourth down. They snap it to Tannehill. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going deep for Brown. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game.
A little bit.
From both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run. It's good. And he's got some space here. And he gets us inside the 35-yard
Can't hear you.
line. They got 18 yards.
So let no send it off.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
First down, Brissett. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher if guys trying to get to the football.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off.
เธอปลาเรียบร้อยวิจารณ์เรียบร้อยไม่ต้องเกเรนะ
Great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is,
And it's caught. Touchdown. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
and now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the
So let
first
me
score.
take some of
It doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return.
Hold
here.
on.
He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And out comes from the Dolphins now. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the defense says they have it. Yes, they got it.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead.
Stop fucking with my phone.
Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Simba just got on.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They come out here in the eye. We're set now on 2nd down.
Oh.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Tannehill. Man, pressure coming, and they got it.
Put it down.
I want to take Simba.
In there to get him, and that's sack number 6
No.
on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw, Tannehill. He'll set up the screen to Dre.
Oh, nice fucking play call.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
He's from Texas. A mosquito up in
completed a
there.
couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision. To be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Tannehill on 2nd down. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he finds Stills complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Going for a right side here, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw is Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Now a handoff for Drake. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw or this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. 2nd down, Brissett. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Out of the gun, Brissett. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So this is your last game?
Probably, yeah.
But you just told them that you were going to play.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep.
Not yet.
They're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one,
What?
puts them in real jeopardy now.
I don't know.
Two-possession game is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Good move by Gurley. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Let's go. One.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal.
Got in those jeans.
4 yards closer. He's down
No,
at the
no.
2.
Wow. I don't wanna be lonely.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Kelly to try to punch it in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. On a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Kelly, third and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
What he says? Let's see. You're like, yo, finishing game up with GQ.
And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point is unsuccessful.
Gurley's not responding.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they
I
will
said Gurley's not responding. Hold on. I'm probably going to have to wait too. Are you done?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Adam Gotsis. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's going to go down again. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. He's going to let it flop. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together.